As part of the June 2012 updates to Insight Maker, the simulation engine was completely rewritten in JavaScript, so it's now actually resident in the browser as opposed to being on the server and all of the computations having to be done on the server and then sent to the web browser. And as part of doing this, the developers put together a calculator to be able to test functions as they were porting the JavaScript engine, so that there's a URL called herocalc.com which provides access to HeroCalc, which is just a straightforward editor, a calculator that allows you to do computations on the screen as desired, though it also allows for mathematical functions such as the sine of x or x squared plus cosine of x. Well, helps if you can type right. Up x squared plus cosine of x. So the calculator, just because they developed it to use while testing the porting of the simulation engine, they thought that they would just leave it and make it available for use, so that there's a whole set of examples that you can pour through to give you a better sense of just what you can, the kind of computations that you can do with HeroCalc. Though one of the sort of unexpected fallouts of all of this was the realization that with the existence of this calculator, it became very easy to go ahead and implement something called macros inside of Insight Maker itself, so that here on the tools, in the tools section, there's a new button called macros, which opens to an editor window and allows one to define functions. And here I've simply defined f as a function of x, which is defined as the sine of x, and g is a function of a, b, and c, which is defined as a plus b plus c. And once I've defined those functions, I can in fact use them in a simulation model, so that this particular variable is simply the simulation time itself, and the unitless function is just used to take the units off of time, which has a default value associated with what the settings are. So from that initial variable, this is a use of the f macro that was defined here to say that f is, or this particular variable is defined as the function of that other variable sometime, which really is the sine of the simulation time. And this third variable was defined to be the function g of the simulation time, or the sine of the simulation time, or just the simulation time plus the sine of the simulation time plus 1, and by the definition of g, it's those three values added together. And with the simulation set up to run from 0 to 20, if I run this simulation, it shows me those three variables, two of which are a result of calculations using macros. So it's a feature that was relatively easy to implement because of things that were used as part of porting the simulation engine to JavaScript. So I just wanted to make you aware that it's here. Play with it. As soon as I get an opportunity to work with it some more, I expect that I will redo or extend the content of this video and redo it. But this is a first look at macros. Hope this has been helpful. Bye.